And the first thing I'm going to teach y'all is overclocking. So there's this other software y'all need to get. Is called MSI Combustor. Okay, so this is MSI Combustor, and pretty much you want to get the software. You should find it on the the MSI site, and I will provide links to MSI Afterburner in the link in the description. That made no sense, but we're still going. But what you want to do is hit Run Stress Test, and a screen should pop up. Okay, so it should look something like this over in the corner and everything. You see, well, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that, but you should see this over in the corner. This is pretty much stress testing your PC and seeing if it is going to crash or anything. So, for some reason, my PC is actually doing a good Fahrenheit. Right now, I'm just trying to get a base clock. So, but you not base clock, a base temperature. But you see how the temperature is steadily rising? You do not want to get over 167 and 167 degrees Fahrenheit and then 75 degrees Celsius. You do not want to get over that. Reason being is that will severely damage the life of your PC. So, to combat this, I have learned of this thing called Curve, pretty much. You just go into MSI Afterburner. You will see something that kind of looks like this. But this is all fine and dandy. What I would suggest is going through there and individually, here, let me just get out of there. Then here, individually, go through them until you find one that looks like this. Now, since this is like a, how do you say? Since this is kind of low, you most likely will not get the same results as I do. And why did my camera shut off. Anyway, guys, you will not get the same clock speeds as I will, and I will not get the same megahertz as you will. So what I would suggest is trying to find your own comfort zone by individually taking these down. Now, that's undervolting. And here is the results from my combustor after 10 minutes of running in the background. Okay, so as you can see, it's about 9 minutes and 30 something seconds in. And as you can see up in the corner, it is 51 degrees. That's still fine, but it's a little higher than I'd want. This is at like normal clock speeds, like 0 clock speed. Now here is 10 minutes in on the undervolted. Okay, guys, this is all like about 10 minutes after I have undervolted. About 10 minutes after I have undervolted, and it's a serious drop in the temperature and FPS. For this, it pushes your GPU to the limit at like 100% most of the time. Right now it's at 98, but it also is meant to be like really intensive, so that's why it pushes it so hard. So you see speeds at like 24 FPS, which earlier whenever I had it as like normal, it had like 30. But if you have a graphics card that can run games at like 120 FPS and you only have like a 60 hertz monitor, then you should be able to run them at like just regular speed. So I would highly recommend undervolting if you ever get the chance to. Now on to the overclocking. Overclocking has its ups and downs. Right now I still have it on the curve. So what we want to do is raise it up to, I would say at whenever you first start out, to 100. Like, not first start out, but what I'm meaning is like whenever you first started overclocking. And then for this one I put 200. That would be my first clock just to make sure like what if it's going to crash or anything. So you just hit the apply button, go back here, run stress test, and run it for a good maybe another 10 minutes. And if you don't crash, then it's a stable. Oh, well, I wouldn't run it for about 10 minutes. I would just see if there's any artifacts. Pretty much just what I do. I put it over in the corner, and let me get back out the MSI afterburner. No, let's not do that. Let's grab the MSI afterburner. Come on now. Thank you. And what I will do is I'll be like just sitting here watching it and everything, making sure. And every so often I'll raise it. That's way too high. I know my clock speed stability. And I'll just raise it every so often. See if I'm getting any artifacts, which I'm not. And if you do not know what an artifact is, I will show you. Hopefully this does not crash my PC fully. 9:15 is normally the time where it starts doing artifacts. I'm not seeing them, but let me just raise it to the max I know my computer can handle. 190 for core clock, and it seems to be handling relatively fine. But you also see, look at the temperature. It's already higher than it was at the undervolting. In the undervolting, it was 24 FPS. That might be a good claim, but you want longevity of your computer, and being at higher temperatures is not going to help the longevity. Now, I'm not saying that 145 degrees is unhealthy. It's completely fine. Anything above, I would say, like 150 is starting to get into that range where be a little careful. Try not to get too hot on there. But I would fully recommend overclocking if your computer can handle it. And just try to do it as slowly as possible. Now, my max stable memory clock would be 850. And my max stable core clock is 190. So if any of y'all wanted to know. And now on to the pros and cons. Okay, so pros and cons of undervolting. Undervolting is, well, there is actually no side effects. Like there's no, I don't even know what would there be. Anyway, I've searched for a while just seeing if there's any side effects. There's not. But with overclocking, there's a side effect of hurting your PC's hurting your PC's life in general. Now, undervolting will actually help with your battery life, believe it or not. Reason being is undervolting, you're not using as much power. Battery life. Awesome battery freaking life. Now, overclocking. It does help, but like I said earlier, it severely takes away at the longevity of your computer. And I do admit, if you can find a stable clock and actually keep it below 75 degrees Celsius, I would highly recommend it. I would. I don't know. It's just toy around with MS Afterburner. It's pretty easy to use interface, and I hope this video helped you, and I hope you understand that this is my first tutorial on how to use like a overclocking software. So I hope I will see you in the next one. I will try to make more content like this. So yeah. Anyway guys, so like and subscribe, play online all day. And this is the most cringiest outro I've ever done. Not really.